Hey there, and welcome back to Building with the Boys. I'm Scott, and this is our weekly catch-up. We've not done one in a little while, because it has been hotter than Hades in here. So I'm in and out where I can, but I thought we'd catch up, because there seems to be a very minor storm at the moment in the artwork world. With the Eaglemoss rumblings, I'm sure some of you may have heard about this, that there's speculation that maybe Eaglemoss have gone bust. Now, there's no official word that that's happened yet. None. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of rumour. There's a lot of I know a guy who knows a guy. But there's no official word yet. Now they may very well have gone bust. That might be the case, but there's no official word of that yet. There isn't. If somebody wants to show me a document from Eaglemoss that states that, okay. But as of right now, we don't know. We don't know. It could very well be true, but right now, we don't know. So what does it mean if they have? I don't know. So this is the thing as well. I don't know. I don't know what gets honoured, what doesn't get honoured. But what's weird about this one is it's a subscription model business. Now, typically when a business goes bust, it's because they have no business. Okay, that's usually what happens. That it's no longer financially viable. It can't make money. Why that makes this odd is you have got literally thousands of subscribers to Ecto 1, the Titanic, the Starship Enterprise, and some of the other bits and pieces that Eaglemoss do, the DeLorean. And then I would imagine tens of thousands of people that are registered interested in the Batmobile, which is enough for creditors and debtors to see that, yes, you do have a viable business. You can make money. And it's what an author would certainly look at. When they look at something like Woolworths or Debenhams, when those go under, they look at it and go, okay, well, you're not competitive. Your credit's now bad. This isn't viable anymore. It just doesn't make money. Before that happens, months, sometimes years before that happens, everything is put in place to try and turn it around. Now, the major speculation for Eaglemoss is that their websites and their communications are down. It might just be that. It might just be websites and communication that are down. But again, if the auditors were in, they wouldn't close the website down because they would be currently selling stock. They have to stay in business. They have to pay their debtors. So what would be happening is they would still be trading just like Woolworths did, just like Debenhams did, just like everyone does when this is happening. They have to maintain trading. Like Toys R Us. Toys R Us took about 6 months from announcing that it had gone bust to actually closing up, and then everything comes down to 80%, then 50%, then 20%, then 10%. They're just fire selling the stuff because they have to accrue as much money as they can to pay off their debtors. And then there are other areas as well where somebody might want to buy the business, somebody might want to take it over. So these are all things that would be considered. It is practically unheard of for a business to go from functioning to shut overnight. Doesn't happen, not really. So that's why this is all very unusual. Now, again, they may have folded. That might be what happened. But just because you're not hearing from them at the moment doesn't mean you're not going to hear from them. And just because that website's down at the moment doesn't mean it's going to stay down, because they're going to have an absolute ton of stock, which they're going to have to sell off. So it will go live again, it will. How that affects our models, I don't know, because the other part of this is if any of these parts have been produced. Now, I'm talking specifically Ecto 1 here, and DeLorean, and the reason why is because with regards to the Enterprise and the Titanic, those are still only, I think, their first 9 months to a year. So the likelihood of the complete kit being available or have been manufactured is very slim. So those two particularly, and maybe the Eleanor as well, very slim, that those would be in a position where they could finish. Whereas with the DeLorean, I'm sure they could honour a lot of outstanding subscriptions. I'm fairly sure they could honour them. How they're going to do that, I don't know. The same with the Ecto. A lot of people with the Ecto, myself included, are on stage 35, which means there are only 2 stages left to it. Chances are those stages have been manufactured. They may have been in the process of shipping, but the likelihood of those parts being manufactured is pretty high, because it's plastic parts that are left in the last 2 issues, which tooling would have had to be manufactured for. That tooling already exists to be at this stage, so it seems very unlikely that those parts haven't been manufactured. Whether they've shipped from China is another question altogether. Whether or not Eaglemoss can pay to ship them from China is another question. But companies don't go from live to dead overnight. It doesn't happen. So I know that doesn't completely alleviate your concerns, and it won't, and I can't, because, I mean, again, at this point, I'm speculating as well, but what I'm doing is I'm speculating the speculation, if that makes sense. Without a straight, yes, we are, no, we aren't from Eaglemoss, no one knows. Okay? It really is that simple. Everything else is just going to be second-hand information. So I know it's hard not to panic, but I'd advise you don't. This is a situation that's out of our control. So all the shouting and screaming in the world isn't going to change that. You can keep ringing phone lines that are dead. Nothing's going to happen. At some point, a statement is going to come out about exactly what isn't happening. And then we'll know. If, like me, you're on stage 35 of the Ecto 1, there are 7 parts left to that build. And all of those parts are plastic parts, with the exception of 2 aerials, which are wire. I have no doubt in my mind one of the modders, be it Mike Lane or Chloe or whoever, are going to come swooping in to save the day on that one, because it's plastic parts. These are things I think could be 3D printed, could be manufactured. It's the tubes that go on the side of the rack, the box on the rack, the propeller ray, and 2 aerials, the ladder. That's it. So there's no reason we couldn't finish that model. Crystal case and uplighter, forget about that. If they have indeed gone bust, but we don't know. We don't know if they have or haven't at this stage. So as of today, the 12th of July, I think 4:35, 4:40, we don't know, because there has been no official word yet. So take everything with a pinch of salt. I mean, you're right to be concerned, because it is all very concerning, the fact that we're not getting any communication at all. But I need my wife shouting at the kids. So it's yeah, I understand your concerns. I do, and it's right to be concerned. You've invested a lot of time and effort into this. I've been building Ecto 1 for over 2 years, 2.5 years. I've been building that model for, and I want to see it end. But if it doesn't, okay, well, I've got a problem. It's more, I feel bad for the Enterprise people, I feel bad for the Titanic people, and I feel bad for the Eleanor people that are halfway through a build, because getting metal component is going to be hard. But the other thing is as well with Eaglemoss are a publisher, they're a distribution house, they are not a manufacturer. Okay, so that's important to know as well. The people that manufacture these models are not Eaglemoss merely buy the license from them to do it. So these models go up for grabs. So Hachette could have took this model, Agora could have took this model, Fanhome or D'Agostini could have took this model, but they didn't. This one went to Eaglemoss, because I'm sure there's a bidding war takes place for it, and that's how this works. So that's what Eaglemoss got. So that's where we are. So if they can't do it, it doesn't mean somebody else won't. But again, how that's going to work for continuing your build, I don't know. But that's where we are with that. I'm going to be right back, because there's a fight erupting downstairs. Give me 2 seconds. It's fun and games. The boys are building, the boys also fight. But yeah, so I understand why everyone has concerns about Eaglemoss. I really do. But again, until we actually hear something official, it's speculation. That's all it is. It might, as I've said, it might be true. It might be the case. If it is, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it how we need to deal with it. And again, these models might end up somewhere else. We might still be able to get parts of them. Somebody else might pick them up. We might still keep going. Eaglemoss might still keep going. Someone else might buy Eaglemoss out. We don't know. We do not know. Everything is speculation at this point. And that's the most important thing to keep in mind. We don't know. Until we officially know what's happening, there is no point in jumping to conclusions. None at all. So that's it for that one. We did for what we've been up to. So we've got R2D2 to do still. We just did R2D2, so we're about to finish the leg, and that's a gorgeous thing. That's from Fanhome, so that's not affected by the Eaglemoss uncertainty. And Fanhome, I'll be honest with you, are an offshoot of D'Agostini. Now, I've had nothing but a good experience with Fanhome. Touch wood, that remains. I've never had a problem with them. I've seen other people said they have. Fanhome have been dynamite for me. Everything has turned up on time, every time, for 18 months. 18 months, everything has turned up on time every time without fail. That's both Iron Man and R2D2 from Fanhome. Their website's fantastic, so you can see exactly what's coming next. There's links to build videos on there. It tells you what your next dispatch is going to be, when you're going to get charged for it, when it's going to ship. You can track the packages. It's fantastic, and that's something Eaglemoss never did. So again, it's kind of So that's what we did there. Iron Man is looking good now. So Iron Man, the legs are finally done, thankfully. We've just built the pelvis, and we've moved on to the chest. So we're moving on to the body of Iron Man now. So the next Iron Man, which is due to arrive late this week, possibly early next week, we're continuing with that body. And we're putting more of the plating on there. So we've got the shoulder plates to go on, and we have the frame that's going to hold, essentially the shoulders that's going to hold the arms. And that'll be a good thing. Disney Dollshouse hasn't arrived yet. I was kind of expecting that today, but it's not turned up. And that's going to be good as well. So that's going to finish off, you can just see on the shelf over there behind me. That's going to finish off what we're doing with the lower floor, where we're going to start building our first internal door as well. Now, there is a problem with this one. There's a small panel in there that, until I see mine, I can't really comment on it because mine might not be affected. It probably is. But I know Hachette are replacing the panel. So if you've received this panel yet that's got the trim the wrong way up, there is a replacement coming for it, so you will be able to complete it. Just don't glue it in yet. Don't glue it in yet. There's no reason to glue it in yet. I know there's thought, I'm gluing it in anyway. You can't really glue it in well because, again, the problem with the trims being the wrong way round is it fits into a groove in the wall. So not only is it going to look weird, but it's also not really going to fit that groove very well. So just wait. There's no reason to glue it in yet. None at all. There's no reason to glue any of that trim in yet. None. You can rest it in and see that it fits. My advice would be wait until you do the door frame and the door, because you don't want to find out your door frame doesn't fit and your door doesn't close and you've got to start tearing that stuff off your walls, because it's MDF. It'll start taking great chunks off with it. You don't want that. So if you're building the Disney Dolls house, use caution with the trim in the frozen room. Use caution. Wait until you get the replacement part. You will get the replacement part, and then we'll just do it there. There is no rush. Again, like I said, there are no medals for coming first, but there are plenty of penalties for doing it rushed. With regards to the Doll's House as well, we're also due to get the final free gift. So we'll be getting Minnie and Daisy this month as well. So more characters for the house. That's gonna look good. Speaking of the Disney Dolls house, Jay over on Jay's channel actually went ahead and bought some of the Christmas extension parts. So go and check his video out. That's Jay's channel. I'll put a link in the description. You can go see Jay's channel. You can see he's done the first few parts of the Christmas house, and the size of it is massive and really nice. So he's got the one that comes with the frozen Christmas tree, which is like it's like an icicle. But it's really gorgeous, really good. But check that out. So you'll find Jay's link in the description below. Check that out and go and check out Jay's channel. Another one for the Disney builders to check out is Purple Turtles. I'll put her link in there as well. She's only just started out on this, and again, if you want to see somebody that's just started out, and you know it's good to see. It's good to see other people's builds and how they do it, and you know it's nice to see. But yeah, hers are great. She's only done a couple so far, but check out Purple Turtles as well. She's doing great, really is. Other ones that we've got, Titanic. I can't forget the Titanic. Titanic's looking gorgeous now, like really nice. I've got, he says, yeah, I have. I've got the ship so far, so you can see this part of the body, but you can see the curvature on this thing. It's gorgeous, right? This is going to be an absolutely beautiful ship. Can't wait to get this done. But we got our first LEDs for that. So we've started to light it up now, and we can see the funnels and trims, and it's gorgeous. But if you're not building the Titanic, swing by and take a look at some of the videos, because it's a really nice build. It really is. And even if boats aren't your thing, ships aren't your thing, all that kind of, it doesn't matter. If maritime's not your thing, doesn't matter. Swing by and have a look, because Titanic's fascinating. And we do stories at the end of each one as well of survivors of the Titanic and some of the weirder stories surrounding the Titanic. So we have the build. We have a little story at the end as well, just some of the history of it. And it's all good. I've got Routemaster, so I've got a giant box of Routemaster turn up. I've got it just down here, which is pack 8, which is going to continue the upper deck, which has got all kinds of things. So it's really going to start coming together on that Routemaster, and that one's nearly done. I mean, we've only got 4 more deliveries of the Routemaster, and that's it. So it was a brief flirtation with the Routemaster, because all these other models are epic. They're all like over 2 years long, whereas Routemaster, 12 months, in and out, gone. And it's incredible how fast it's flown up. It really is. New models. I haven't got anything really in the ways of new models to tell you about, but there is a new collection that's launched in France. This isn't my thing by any means, but this might be yours, so take a look at this. So those are the cars of the Fast and Furious. So you can collect small scale cars, and they come with a nice little diorama, and there's a lot of them. So they're doing, I mean, you think about how many cars are in the Fast and Furious series. They're doing a lot of those, and that's just launched in France. I would imagine it's going to launch over here as well, because it's proven to be a very popular franchise. It's not for me. I'm not a fan of the Fast and Furious in the slightest. I approach it a different way. For me, I go to the cinema once a week, and I had until COVID hit. I actually had an unbroken run of going to the cinema at least once a week for about 17 years. But always avoided Fast and Furious. So I've seen the first one, I've seen the fourth one. I haven't seen any of the others because they were. I mean, those two that I watched were 6 too many, so they weren't for me. But what makes me laugh is when I see the trailers for the other Fast and Furious movies. If you like them, I'm sorry, but if you haven't seen them all, it starts to get confusing if you just see the trailers. Because I'm like, wait a minute, weren't these street racers that were also robbing trucks? Now they appear to be in space, or in tanks, or racing across ice. What happened? I don't know how you get from that. I don't know how you get from street racers to space, and I'm not sure how you get from Vin Diesel to super powered soldiers in a spin-off movie from, I don't know. But this is the cars of Fast and Furious, so you can get a lot of them. And the one thing I can't deny about the Fast and Furious is the cars are beautiful. They are absolutely gorgeous. And I've always had a thing for American muscle cars. And me and Jack did build some of the parts of the Dodge Charger, but our kind of thing was we weren't committed enough to it, but it was beautiful. What we built was gorgeous. So we built the hood, we built the supercharger, we built the grill. The grill was beautiful. Of all the models I've built, that was hands down my favourite grill. That grill alone nearly had me sold on the model. It was that nice. But we didn't do it. But yeah, I mean, again, be on the lookout for it. I'm sure it will launch probably later this year, if not the start of next year. And that's all I've really got as regards to news on new builds, new collections. We've got more stuff coming up. So we've got Oscar's Marvel books will be coming up as well. I've got Root Masters to do this week. There's another pack of R2D2. We will have the Disney Dollshouse this week. We'll also have we won't have Titanic. I'm talking nonsense. Oscar's got some Lego he wants to show you as well. Some very cool stuff. So we'll be doing that too. With regards to Ecto 1, I don't know. But again, try not to panic too much about Eaglemoss until we know for certain what's happening. We get an official, this is what's happening, then we can go on from there. And if it does come to a case of needing to get refunds and things like that, we'll talk about that too, about how to do it. But let's just wait and see what the official word is before we start panicking. That's all for this week. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and I will catch you on the next one.